All right, well, first of all, thank you guys for coming. So this is Bubba. Now, you are Mr. Evanesco.
It is Bubba. It's
Bubba.
Evanesco, right?
Evanesco.
Evanesco.
Wow. So maybe you've heard of the Howie and Bubba show on the radio station? This is
105.3
him.
New Life Radio.
105.3 New Life Radio.
We do morning radio every morning. We fill in on KODE, not to
Yeah,
let
you're
you
on
know
that
the
4
secret.
o'clock in the afternoon
Yeah.
show.
And on Living Well as well.
Living Well.
Howie and I will be the
Isn't Shelby cool?
KODE morning team as soon as Katie leaves. She's going to leave, so that'll be
It's a celebrity in our presence.
Not
So,
right.
among all the other things he does, he also works for workforce development. And so I had bumped into a former student of mine, of course, who was in the same area. And he started telling me about all the finances they have to help people get new careers, do apprenticeships, and I'm like, this is good information. So, Bubba's here to talk to us about how to find a job, get a better job, plan your career.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Well, here we go. Again, my name is Bubba. The main job that I have is with the Workforce Investment Board, and what we do is we have subcontractors that fill jobs for us at the job centers. We have one in Joplin, Neosho, and Monette. The address and the phone numbers, of course, right here. So we can serve everybody in this 7-county area that we're tasked to serve in Southwest Missouri. Other than that, we also have access points. We'll be talking about those a little bit later in the presentation so that we can help serve that full 7-county area. One thing, this presentation is geared towards people that maybe don't know what career they're going to go into, not really sure what career path they're going to take or what their interests even are. You guys probably have a little bit better idea of that. So understand that this wasn't geared exactly towards you, and we'll skip through some of that to make it as relevant to you guys as we can. But I will tell you this, no matter if you're a senior, only have a week left, going to graduate, you've got a $100,000, $200,000 job waiting on you, the minute you walk out of here, and you think, I'm not going to listen to this presentation, it doesn't really pertain to me, it doesn't matter. Quit being so selfish if you're saying that right now, I'm telling you right now, because there's somebody in your life, no matter whether you're homeless or you have a PhD, the one thing we all need is a job, okay? So we all got to pay bills, we're all going to have responsibilities, so this really is going to pertain to everyone, people you know, people at church, people at home, your friends, your family, maybe you. They say the Department of Labor came out with a statistic last year that every single person will go through 7 different careers in a lifetime. I'm not talking about 7 jobs. That doesn't mean go to car lot to car lot to car lot. That means I'll sell cars one day, I'll be a janitor one day, I might be a brain surgeon for a while. Possibility, the average, will change careers 7 times in a lifetime. So even though you're locked in today, you know exactly where you're going, and that's awesome. That may not be where you end up. So again, this information could pertain to you at some point. So I hope that I can bring up some stuff that may help you. How can the Job Center help you? Well, we're going to offer ways you can identify your skills and improve your skills. This can pertain to you as well. If you're even, I'm going to accounting, I'm going for an accounting degree, but I'm starting to think about maybe early childhood development. We have stuff that you can check out for free to find out if that's a path you want to go into. So you can still explore your options. Provide employer information and employment opportunities. We're going to talk about that. Access to hundreds of jobs. We'll talk about that big time. That jobs.mo.gov website. That is a statewide website that Missouri put together. So you can go there, and we're going to get way into that because that's a great website. But I did a search this morning. Within 25 miles of the zip code 64801, there's over 600 jobs available right now. And those jobs are real jobs from real employers. This isn't monster.com, $1,500 a day, stuffing envelopes. We don't have any of that. These are real employers in our area looking for real people that pay real money today. So it's a great website to go to look for jobs. Training opportunities. We have a lot of stuff. We're going to be talking about workshops. We're going to be talking about pre-apprenticeship training, all kinds of training that's available through the Job Center. Again, at no cost to you. Everything we're going to talk about today is at no cost to you. We're not a temp service. We're not going to put you on somewhere and take part of your check and charge the employer for putting somebody there. We don't do that. We are the middleman. We get our money through tax money, through grant money, through the state, through the feds. That basically when we put this information out, it's already bought for and paid for. So these services are available for you at no charge whatsoever. Identify potential career paths. Again, you guys are probably a little farther along than that, but we'll talk about that and what tools they do have available, because again, what we say, don't be so selfish. Somebody you know might need this service, so make sure to listen to that. Assess your employment goals. local hiring events, and more. All right? You ready to get started?
Yeah.
All right, good, you're with me still so far. Hang on. I'll make this as quick as I can. This is a big one. We just started this. The government moves really slow. I don't know if you ever heard that or not. We passed the state, we ain't waiting for them. They should already have an app, they should already have a texting club, they should already have all this, and they don't, so we do. This is probably, again, if you're looking for a job right now, or you know somebody that is, this is a great service to take part in. It's absolutely free. You just get a text once a week. We don't bombard you with a text a day or anything. You get one weekly text, and we give you a little bit of information, and there's always a link you can click on for more. And it's the texting page, which has everything they've got going on at the job center for the next month, but that won't come onto your phone unless you click the link. So again, we try to make it as small and easy to do as possible. All you have to do is text the word SWMO jobs to the number 41411. You'll get a weekly text. You can opt out anytime you want. Again, there's absolutely no charge for that. Yeah. And those handouts are yours to write on, keep, throw away, whatever you want to do with them. All right, fire away. How do I begin? Again, this was written for other people, you know, so I'm gonna skip through a little bit of this. The skills, I mean, you guys know all that stuff. This is how we would get started though. You wanna create an account with that jobs.mo.gov. Now we're gonna spend just a little bit of time on this, especially since we're recording. This is so huge. The reason I believe in this website so much, jobs.mo.gov, is the position I have right now with the Workforce Investment Board, I basically got from this website. I was unemployed at the time. I saw a position for a recruiter with their youth program. I said, man, there ain't no way they're gonna hire anybody to do that. I filled it out anyway. And next thing you know, I got an interview, I got the job, and then after a year of doing really well there, they put me on at the WIB, so not only can I help the youth department, I can help all departments. So I got this job from that website. The nice thing about that website is you can save searches on that website. So I can go on there and I can list, since I do TV, I can list a search for TV jobs, and I'll save that one. Then I can save another search for radio on-air personality jobs, save that one. Then I can come over and do one for outreach or PR, and I can save that. And the nice thing is when of course it'll filter through all the jobs that are available right now and tell me what's available that matches my criteria. And then also as they come in, if those are saved, however I told them to email me, text me, whatever I told the system to do, when a new job comes in for TV that matches everything I've said, I'll get a text or an email saying, you've got to go on the website right now. There's a job that just got listed and it's everything you've asked for. And I can click, check that job, it goes right to the page. I can even hit apply right there and do it right from the phone if I want. It's super quick and you don't have to go there every day to get an update. And the most important thing about that website, does anybody know what the unemployment rate is right now? All right, you should not. It's 3.76. Let me tell you this, and I hope this number's right. Any fact checkers, I might be off a year or two. That's the lowest unemployment rate since I believe 1956. That's crazy. What does that mean to you guys or to anyone? It means the job, when I took my job, unemployment was at 8%. So employers had a big pool of people to pull from. Now it's at 3.76. So that means does anybody know anybody that's hiring right now? Anybody? Yeah, that's because everybody's hiring right now. Nobody can find good people and keep them. They're fighting for people. I mean, Popeyes is, I love Popeyes, but they're paying $9 an hour to work the drive-thru. That's crazy money to work a drive-thru. I'm just saying, that's nuts. So the unemployment rate is driving the demand for employees. So with that jobs.mo.gov, again, I've got my resume loaded up there, I've got my contact information up there, and there's nothing better than coming back at the end of the week to check your profile and to see that 10 employers look at your stuff, and you wonder where you got 3 calls for interviews when you didn't apply anywhere. It's amazing, it'll work for you. Oh yeah, and it's really reasonably priced. It's free, you don't pay anything. So that website, I mean, I have people all the time, man, I can't find a job. I know you work with Job Genie, and I can't find no job around here. Ain't nobody gonna hire me. Have you been on the jobs.mo? No. Man, you haven't even started. You have not even started. And if you have a problem getting on the website, you're not sure how to register, you're not sure how to upload your information, go to the job center. That's what those folks are there for. They will sit down with you and help you every step of the way to make sure that your profile is as updated and complete as possible, so that those employers, if they find you, they're gonna get everything they need to hire you. And I'm telling you, it happens more. That happened to me back when unemployment was at 8%. I can imagine if you got some, especially for you guys, coming out with degrees, skills, certifications, man, they're gonna be looking for you. You know what I mean? And you can go on there now and put your projected graduation dates on. They'll wait for you. They need people all the time. They're 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. That's not gonna stop them from being interested in you. So, jobs.mo.gov. Do you get that I'm passionate about that website, that it works? It's a great website. And again, that is listed with real employment opportunities. All we have is real employers that list there. We have some that have been verified with us that can list their own jobs, but most of them go through us to put those on. We wouldn't put anything on if it wasn't the real deal. Did you have a question for me? No? I didn't know if anybody had one. All right, what else can you get? You can get that interview with the career counselor, just like I said. If you want these people, again, we're the middleman at the job center, and I'm speaking for them, I don't work there. They are the middleman between employers and employees. So every day, they're talking to Susan Adams that used to work at Able Manufacturing to know she won't take a resume on yellow paper. It'd be nice to know that. Well, why don't you lean on those people to find, hey, I'm really wanting to get on at Leggett and Platt. Who's better to talk to? Is there a better day to apply? How can I get in there? Somebody might know that. Oh, Lisa, take her a coffee on Wednesday, you'll get right in. I mean, I don't know. But those are things you want to lean on those people. Everybody, I mean, you've been spoken to about networking and working with people. This is networking. And because we get our funding so weird, as you hear about the other services, we network with as many partners as are available as well. Because if our funding will only fund the workforce part, but you need a house, then we need to work with Catholic Charities. And if you need clothes, then we're going to work with Crosslines. And we try to build the biggest net we can to catch as many people as we can. Instead of saying, well, we'll help you with a job, but the rest on your own. Good luck. Hard to do your job if you don't have a car, you don't have a place to live, you can't change your clothes. Career Ready 101, that is with your interest profiler, also via the ONET online. These are tools that the job center staff is going to use for you. Again, these are more tools for people that don't know what career they're going to go into, what path that they're going to take. So be aware of those tools that they're available for folks. And even ONET online, if you do know what you're going into, you're going to be a police officer, you can pull that up and it tells you all the different skills that you might need, different certifications, trainings that would be available for you, so that you can fulfill those positions as well. Your National Career Readiness Certificate, oh man, I could spend a whole hour talking about that one. It's offered through ACT. Anybody heard of them? Of course, come on. Well, they do all your stuff for your college entrance exams, right? Well, that's on the college, on the academic side. They also work with the NCRC, the National Career Readiness Certificate. That's on the workforce side. They've been collecting data for over 20 years. They wanted to find out how they could put it to work. So they came up with a credential that employers can use to verify your workplace skills. I can write down a reference letter. My Aunt Sally loves me. Call her, she'll tell you. But that doesn't mean that I really know how to run a cash register. I mean, Aunt Sally thinks I'm a great guy, but can I do the job? Well, with the NCRC, it proves your workplace skills. It's not just like a college entrance exam, it's more real world stuff. There's 3 different parts that make the assessment. There's you're locating for information, you're reading for information, and applied mathematics. For instance, applied mathematics may ask you, if you're gonna have a $10 check at a restaurant, you wanna leave a 20% tip, how much are you gonna leave? That kind of a question, not A times Z equals Y squared, what's Y? I don't know what that is, I don't know. But the National Career Readiness Certificate, in Missouri alone, over 3,500 employers have already signed up to support that certificate, and they believe that it does tell them the information they need to make hires. So there's different levels of that. It's very like, I call it the Ghetto Olympics, because not only the bronze, silver, and gold, but we also have platinum, hey-o. But the nice thing about certificate is wherever I come in at, let's say I get a gold certificate, I'm not locked in there. I can go back on the jobs.mo.gov, I can remediate, train for free, and then when the nice thing about the system is it doesn't just say 2 plus 2, and they go, oh, it's 5. And they go, no, that's wrong, it's 4. It doesn't do that. It says 2 plus 2 is 5. No. Now, if we had 2 apples, and you put 2 more apples, how many apples? Oh, so you start learning, and it'll tell you intuitively when you're ready to go back and take that other assessment. If applied mathematics, the only one that I got a lower score in, the rest were golds, applied mathematics, the only one I have to bump up to get the next certificate. So you don't have to take the whole 3 assessments again. And again, the nice thing about the NCRC, you go, well, I don't need that. It's a good tool for people without high school diplomas or without college degrees. Well, it is, but it's also, what are you going to school for?
Psychology.
Psychology. How many people do you think will graduate at the time, just project a number, it makes no difference, you're right, wrong, or different. Psychology graduates, when you graduate, how many do you think there'll be?
Here.
Sure, just here, 5, 20, 100, 40? So, let's say there's a job in job one that opens up, and all 40 of you are like, that's the one I want. So everybody's going for it, you all have the same degree. Let's hypothetically say somehow you all even have the same grade point average. All they have is that degree now. Well, through the NCRC, you can all take that and you'll have 5 platinums, maybe a couple golds, some silvers and bronze. It will help separate even a college grad from the pack, is what I'm telling you. It helps differentiate you from everybody else. And in this world, when you're talking about 3.7% unemployment, you're competing against everybody in the world for everything, that's a big deal. So the NCRC is available for free. If you're 18 and up, it doesn't cost a thing. All you have to do is go to the job center. There's some days that you can do a walk-in basis. You can schedule it otherwise and come back and take it. It takes about an hour for each assessment, so it's about a 3-hour deal. You can take one at a time, you can take 2 or 3, you can take the whole thing. But I really suggest you look into that. And again, that jobs.mo.gov has information there about that credential. You can go there, you can take sample questions, and then you can find out if you're ready or if you want to go through the training a little bit more before you take it. But I suggest you do that, it will help you. Ma'am?
Yes, do they have it for English? That'd be great for one of English majors.
Well, no, the NCRC is, they have those 3 general assessments, locating information, reading for information, and applied mathematics. That's what makes the NCRC. So that's why it's good for everybody. I mean, it's an assessment that does your workplace skills. So they know, again, I think ACT, the number is like 93%. If you hold a gold certificate, they say you can do 93% of the jobs in America from janitor to CEO. And they back it up. I mean, they've never been dinged on their numbers. So when a company comes in and they go, geez, I got that one psychology job, I got 40 people applying for it, but I got 1 platinum, guess who's getting the first call back? I mean, it really helps separate yourself, you know what I mean? And slackers get through too, you know what I mean? I got a high school diploma. It proves anybody can. So, but you would want to see my scores versus somebody else, you know.
How do you show those NCRC scores on an application or a resume?
You can put them on your application, you can put it on the resume. What we do now is instead of giving you a certificate, because they're very hard to hold on to, we give plastic cards now, which one's a little tore up, but it gives your certificate number on it, gives your level, and then it gives the website and a phone number for the employers to be able to verify it. So when they get your ID, they go, because I mean, I can change this to Brad Vansco, you know. But when they go to the website, they say, oh, Thomas Vansco, that, they can verify that it is what you said it is.
If I've already taken that, can I still get the card though?
Just go to the job center.
Okay.
Tell them that's what you want. And they may offer it through ACT, I'm not sure, but I know for a fact that job center, and I don't think we'll charge you for it, we don't charge for it. I don't think we even have a system set up to charge you for it, so I don't think you have to pay for it. Let's see, NCRC. So that's a big deal. That's a huge deal, actually. And again, don't be afraid of it. You guys, man, please, we deal with youth all the time. The old people like us, Dr. Ford, and no offense. But I mean, we grew up our own obstacles. Oh, I've been in school in 20 years. We didn't do math like this. I'm not gonna go take it. That's, you guys get in there and kill it. I mean, I went there to do mine and I'm like, you know, okay, we're going through it and I'm ready to take my first break after 1 assessment and there's like 3 kids already done. By the time I got down to my second one, all the kids were done. I still had 1 to go. So you guys are already ready to take tests, you're already in that mode. Jump in there, don't think about it and kill it, I promise. And again, it's a living, breathing certificate. So you have 3 topics. Whatever the lowest score is of your topics is what certificate you'll hold. So if I get gold, a silver, to gold, then I'll have a silver certificate. But that silver is the only one I have to redo to bounce it up to a gold for everything, and then my certificate will be gold. So it's really living and breathing. Don't ever get locked in and go, oh, I'm a bronze, I'll never be more than bronze. That's not true.
So you can retake it.
Absolutely, as many times as you want. There's no restriction on that either. I think what they tell you though is like, if I'm going back for that one and I want to take it up, and I don't take it up, you might have to pay for the assessment. It's like $20. Or it's actually 18, I think, but the only time you'd ever have to do that. And again, the system will tell you when you're ready. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't lie, it's gonna tell you if you're ready to go.
But employers probably really like it if you're in CRC because it tells them this person is certified, that they're
Well,
job ready.
Susan Adams, I use her as an example at Able Manufacturing. This certificate helps verify their workplace skills so much that she was able to take one person out of HR and put them in a different position in the plant. It saved about $38,000 a year. Didn't lose her job, she went and got to do something else, but it reduced that type of workload. Because now, the Carpenters Union is a great example. We take these kids in, yeah, they got high school diplomas, but we're taking them in, they don't know how to add, they don't know how to add a measurement. So I'm spending 3 weeks teaching them how to read a measuring tape when some of this stuff would have told me that already. The NCRC would have said, oh, okay, we're gonna have to work with this a little bit. And for some jobs, if you're working on an assembly line with 8 computer-run machines and you're doing the work of 16 people, you've got to know how to do that. I mean, they've got to know you can do that. And anyway, they really lean on those certificates. Some jobs will require a certain score. You can't even get certain jobs at certain places unless you're a gold, but those, they go through a lot to get that. Talent Five for personal assessment, or personality assessment, there's a lot. Again, if you guys have any doubts, you guys have great career offices here, but if you did want to check your personality assessments to see, maybe you're questioning what line you're in or whatever, I would lean more on your staff here for that, but it is available so that you can at least see where you're falling. Free seminars at the Job Center, have every single week. Everything from financial literacy to computer skills, to interview skills, how to fill out applications online, resumes, all that, free of charge. All you have to do is go. And the nice thing about that, again, these people are this is what they do. I mean, if they fried chicken, they go to school once every 6 months to get a better technique to fry chicken. Well, they don't fry chicken to get people jobs. So every 6 months they go to resume classes to find out what resumes are working. They really hone up on those skills. So again, when you talk to them, they're not just there to help you because that's what they get paid to do. They're professionals, and they've got some tips that you can take advantage of. So I really lean on them. And GCF Learn Free, if you've never been there, it's an amazing site, and we've got some of their videos embedded, but if you go there, man, they have a bazillion videos on everything from accounting classes to how to take an interview to you name it. I mean, they have everything on there, and it's absolutely free. It's a great website. Why are self-assessments helpful? Again, I'm not going to go through a whole bunch of this with you guys. I'll just let you know for people that you may know that are looking for jobs or may not know this information. Maybe they're not in school. Maybe they're not sure what they're going to do. This is some of the good stuff that they can help with at the Job Center. They can, how much time do I have, Dr. Ford? I want to make sure.
50 minutes.
How much?
50.
Oh, good Lord, we'll have plenty of time. Self-assessments. They're career-related self-assessments, again, to try to find out what would be a good match for somebody if they really just don't feel like they know. You guys are already passed, but it'll help them find a job that maybe might be a good fit for them. Then they'll realize or come up with ways that they can advance in that career path. I mean, it's one thing to say, I want to be a welder, and I like welding. Well, there's a long way from somebody saying that to being a welder. So we can define that career pathway and find out how we can help them get that career success. What's next? Once you've completed those self-assessments over there at the Job Center, they're going to go ahead and look at potential careers that you can find a job, closely match your interests. That's what we just talked about. The biggest thing is they're going to have somebody help you through this. It's funny, you know, if we want to lose weight, we get a personal trainer, we pay for a gym membership, we buy gym clothes, we dedicate the time to go do it. But when it comes to getting a job or working in our career, we just think we're somehow magically gifted enough to do it on our own. We don't need any help, we're just gonna do it. That's crazy. Why would you do that in anything? Everybody asks, I mean, you don't even change a tire without watching a YouTube video, right? How do I change my tire? Well, why would you ask for help with jobs? You know what I mean? They will sit down and literally help you, again, especially if this is your first time. Browse those job postings and qualifications, show you how you can find out how to read that information and how to utilize that information so you can progress, not just see it, but actually do something with it. Talking with someone working in the occupation, we do everything from job shadowing to, sometimes we have like an employer spotlight where we have an employer come in for an afternoon and just talk about their positions and their facility, what's required, so you can find out if you're interested in that. Another thing that we just did was manufacturing days. We had a tour that was set up in Job Hunt, and one was set up in Monette, where we took people on a bus, we packed them in, and we took them to area manufacturers so they could literally see what it looks like to work at an area manufacturer. And I think that's really important, especially with manufacturing. It was an eye-opener for me, because my mom worked at an unnamed shop in Joplin, Auburn, because I think they're still there. It was dirty, man. I'm old, so this is like in the 70s maybe, Norma Ray, you know, I don't know, but it was dirty, and like everybody had their own little spot they were working in. It was filthy and cramped, and the air was thick and hot, and I don't know how she did it. But I went to a few manufacturers, Regal, Beloit, and Cassville, Leggett and Platt and Carthage, and man, I mean, all right, let me throw you a stat. Next year will be the first year ever we have more jobs in this country than we have people to fill. That's real. That's real talk. And how are they gonna fill them? Automation. We can't even order at McDonald's or Subway without having to make our own order. I mean, there's self-checkout at Walmart. People blindly go through there. You don't think about the jobs that's taken away. They just bring it up because it's quicker and easier. But that kind of stuff is where we're going. I saw a machine at Regal Beloit. Each machine did the job of 4 people, and one person ran 4 machines. 16 jobs, one person. And she wasn't stressed. She's like, I got button, 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 you're good. Button, 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 you're good. I mean, it was wild, wild, wild stuff. And Leggett and Platt, I think, if you don't know what they do at Flexilators, imagine like a seat in a car, just the spring, the metal piece in the middle of it all, just the spring thing alone, not the foam, not the seat, just the thing. That's what they make. And they're bazillionaires doing it. It's crazy. Next year, 3 years ago, they were looking to land people off. You know what they're going to do? Manufacturing jobs started coming back. They picked up gigs, and now they're putting out 50 million pieces this year. In 2 years, they'll be up to 70 million pieces. They have these 2 huge robotic things that move so fast I can't even tell you. They go through 500,000 cycles a year. It's crazy. And they're getting 4 more of those to fill those orders. So these kind of positions, I don't know where I got off on that, but manufacturing is not what it used to be. There's guys in offices, air conditioning, working on computer programs. We're trying to make this new part. The computer thinks it's going to have a problem there, so we add a little more of this. It's good. It's like mind-blowing. It's crazy. Anyway, but it gives them the opportunity to see that stuff. We have apprenticeship programs, which we'll talk about. Again, it gives them the opportunity to work in the field. Reading career profiles. If they don't know what they're doing, I think I want to be a plumber. Well, we can pull up a plumber profile. They see all the stuff that goes with it. I got to do what? Toilet what? No, I'm out. I don't want to do that. So we got to help them with that stuff. So it's available. Watching career exploration videos, we have those. And again, probably the biggest thing is the nice testimonials. We have testimonials from job seekers that have gotten jobs in certain industries so they can see how it's going for them. We have testimonials from employers so they can see how the job centers help supply their workforce. Path to employment. Once you assess yourself, we've already talked about that. We started exploring options. We kind of talked about that. And then the biggest one is identifying skill gaps. Now, again, 3.76% unemployment. Very, 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 very low. So when we talk to employers, they feel like the only people that are available to them, what their beliefs are, is that they are going to be the minimum wage, entry-level type person. The people they need are people with skills, certifications, They need somebody with an OSHA 10. They need somebody with a forklift cert. They need somebody with an engineering degree. Or what was it again? I was going to say it, but I couldn't pull it out.
Maths and business.
Yes.
Majors.
So the nice thing about that is they find out what those gaps are, what they don't have. I'm just a high school dropout, I don't have anything. All right, we're going to get you your GED or your HSC, we're going to start there. Then when you get that done, we're going to look at putting you in an apprenticeship program. Then when we get that done, we'll put you in a work experience program. When we get that done, you're on the job training program, and you are on your own. And we've exhausted every piece of funding that we can to take them along, so that we took them from no skills to being skilled and employed in a career, not a job. Knock on wood, somebody's indicated wood. So that's what they're doing there. Career readiness pre-apprenticeship programs. Again, I'm not going to read this thing line for line. This is what we were just talking about though. Short-term training programs that are taking people from unskilled positions to skilled positions in no time and shooting them out the door into jobs. What we do is we have what we call a career readiness program or a pre-apprenticeship program in a lot of different fields. Healthcare, early childhood education, building trades, CNC machining. We're getting ready to do one in truck driving with Crowder. We're just getting started. This is the first year we really have come up with these and are doing these. And the nice thing about it is they're spending 5 to 6 weeks in class. Then we're putting them out into 280 hours of a paid work experience, so they're out there getting paid while they're training. And at the end of that, that's 12 weeks or less, they're coming out and let's say for the building trades, they've got their OSHA 10s, a forklift certification, a scissor lift certification, CPR and first aid, their NCRC, so they are very employable. And again, you're talking about low unemployment where people need these people. This puts out a great candidate, man. We also do a hiring event at the end of those programs. We did one in Carthage for the building trades. Not one of our participants showed up for our job fair. They all already have jobs. That's how needed they are. And again, when you come out of healthcare, I think we're working for the CNAs for the most part on it. There are other options there. Early childhood education, it's the CDA, which is your childhood development as something. It's like a $500 certificate that's required from the state if you want to work in a state-funded facility. And you get that as being, again, part of the program. There's no cost for any of these trainings. So unlike a Vatterott or a welding school, which there's nothing wrong with those places, but this is, again, this doesn't cost them anything. And there's a few qualifications to get you in the program, but they can apply on the website very simply. So, but this is the way of the future as far as the job centers are concerned. Before we did workshops, we had on-the-job trainings, but we really didn't have, we were really kind of led by the employer's need at the time. So we were very reactive. Now we're trying to be proactive. We're talking to the employers to find out where they need people, what kind of people they need, and supplying the training that will fulfill those requirements. So we already know before you come out, there's a place for you. These aren't guesses. We talked to them and they said they'll take you. So it's the short-term trainings are amazing.
Okay, so short-term trainings, because I'm thinking of some people that could benefit from this program. What's the variety in the length of the apprenticeship? 6 weeks to not more than how many?
Most of them are 12 weeks. The only one that's really different is the early childhood development because they have to have 480 hours of paid training to get the credential. So they have to do a little more time in the field, but it is paid training. But other than that, they're pretty much 12 weeks.
So that was my next question. Are they paid while they're going through this training?
Again, the first 5 to 6 weeks is a classroom training. There's nothing there. But then after that, they do enter into a paid work experience program, so they will be paid during that portion of training. Okay. And then they go on, after that, they'll most likely have a spot waiting for them. I don't have anybody unemployed that's been through any of our programs.
And if I'm interested in this and I go online to apply, how do I know which program I want? Because...
Well, again, you can go online to apply. That gets you your information, but I suggest going into the job center.
Okay.
That may be where some of those self-assessments come in handy.
Okay.
So that you can find out which one. Am I going to be leaning towards healthcare? Would I be better off towards manufacturing? And the nice thing again about building trades, you're coming out with a forklift cert, an OSHA 10. You could go to construction. You could go to a warehouse, just run the forklift. There's a lot of positions that opens up for not just working at a construction site. So Yes, ma'am? If you think of it, let me know.
Robin, do you see a variety in the amount a person gets paid if they go healthcare, early childhood versus building trades, machining?
Well, the difference that we've seen usually is nothing or a career. Because these folks, you can't get that career in the building trades if you don't have your Ocean 10, if you don't have the forklift. So they don't really have an option there other than maybe enter at the very entry level position and go from there, you know. But with these positions, I think our last building trades, I think everybody came out making $12, which isn't, I mean, you know, but for these guys, I mean, some of these guys were literally, some of them were homeless, you know,
So where do you
Catholic
get
church,
your
some, yeah.
But I'm wondering if the building trade job I might get at the conclusion, would that pay more than the childhood educator job or not?
Yeah, man, I mean, we can do research on that to find out, you know what I mean? Because it depends on the market at the time. That I can tell you that the ones that we're putting people in are the ones in high demand. We're not putting you in printing school, like newspaper printing, you know what I mean?
Right.
So these are the ones that basically are employer driven, really. I mean, they have such demand.